Hello, friend. I am back. So today, I just did a video on purpose. Now I'm going to do a video on manifestation because the questions that have been coming in today have been both topics. So I just wanted to share this with you. Again, my beliefs, my experience, and my outer authority is going to share the mechanics of it, plus the experience of it. So I'm going to share again my screen just so that we can take a look at the different types, so that you can see the mechanics and then comprehend it. So again, our minds are a beautiful outer authority for other people. That doesn't mean that you have a thought, an opinion, a epiphany, and you take action on it. That's not what this is about. Outer authority is you have the experience, you share the beliefs, you share the knowing, the breakthrough, the insight, you share the details or the opinions with people, but it isn't about taking action on all of that. That's all a mental game, okay? So let's just take a look here, okay? So we have confusion, we have inner truth, we have doubt, then we have realization, rationalization, and formalization. Again, this is experiential. So there's this confusion. Why are we having this experience? What's going on here? And then once the experience comes to a close, there's a realization. Oh, okay, now I know why I had that experience. I discovered blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. Or my inner truth, and I come to a rationalization on that inner truth. Those are those epiphany moments, right? They are the real ahas that take place, and they just land in you in your own very mutative, pulse on, pulse off kind of way. Then you have the doubt, and those doubts, really what the doubt does is it gets us to test it. Like, let's test this pattern. Let's test this person's talent. Let's test their skills. Let's test the authority. It's all about testing, because there's something in the matrix field that you doubted. So your mind is going, I doubt that. I doubt that. So in order to come up with a focused energy around it and a formalized answer, there has to be doubt. And then that rationalization turns into ideas. Or sorry, that realization turns into ideas. That formalization turns into opinions. And the rationalization turns into a breakthrough, okay? All mind game. All of that is mind game. Now, just ask yourself, just this one little simple thing. Are you trying to manifest on any of that that's happening up there? Most likely you are. And I did too, until I understood the mechanics of this. So now when I have an idea, I watch the idea, I write it down, I put it into the frequency field, right? It's already, I was the decoder of that idea. Now, what happens is people start to ask. So I've been brainstorming ideas about YouTube videos. And of course, all ideas just streaming through, all these ideas happening, poof, poof, poof. So somewhere out in the matrix field, somebody has thought, how do you manifest? How do you manifest through human design? What's my purpose in human design? So I have this ginormous list of videos that you know, will at one point in time most likely be created. But they don't get created until somebody asks me for them. Hello, here we are, strategy to respond. And what does that mean? Somebody has to ask me for my energy. I do not manifest from my mind. None of us do. However, take a look at the world. Just take a look at our world. So people are trying to manifest through their minds. We have beautiful brains, beautiful minds, don't get me wrong, as outer authorities for other people. So the idea came. And until I'm asked so that I can share it as an outer authority, there is nothing there. There is no creation. Once somebody asks, poof, the manifestation for my particular design happens like within moments. And I mean moments. I started getting emails at 10 o'clock this morning about these questions, purpose and manifestation. And up until however long ago I made the last video, like let's say an hour and a little bit ago. So I was having questions asked to me for about 6 hours. And in amongst asking those questions, these videos just flow through and come to manifestation. Again, that's my design. Now I want you to understand the mechanics of this. Nothing can be manifested through the mind. I shouldn't say nothing. Of course it can be, but guess what it's going to be? It's going to be the not self agenda. And most likely, it isn't for the betterment of anybody. Of anybody. The mechanics for me, as what you would call a manifesting generator in human design, or take a look at this. I'm an express builder in the language of BG5. So base group 5 is really what that stands for, and that's the business side. So the manifestation piece takes place out of this response, up to the throat. The throat connected to a motor is where we get manifestation, because it has to come from the physical body. Now, I will guarantee you that I have mental projectors, probably some splenic projectors that don't have a motor connected. Self-projected projectors, they're all going like, what are you talking about? Why can't I manifest? Yes, we can all manifest. However, it comes from strategy and authority. It does not come from the mind. And if there isn't a motor connected to the throat, most likely your manifestations come as spurts. They're there, then they're not there. They're there and they're not there, depending on who's around, what's going on in the transits. But if you're trying to force the not self agenda, we have junk in the world. But if you're trusting strategy and authority, for myself, I actually have 2 motors connected to my throat, manifestation happens like very, very quickly after I respond. I can go into manifestation. There is a creative poof that takes place. I can't even explain it to you how quickly it happens. But if there's anything trying to work from here, and I've tried it. I've tried ideas, and then I've tried to push that not self agenda on people, and they can't hear it. But if I let the idea flow to me, come to me, I write it down. Like I say, I have papers and papers and papers filled with ideas that have flown to me, okay? Flowed to me, flown to me, same thing. And I just then wait. I wait for somebody to ask, because those people that are asking are on my fractal. They can then hear it. They're asking for it. They're open. They're ready to hear the comprehension of it all. However, if I'm trying to push the not self agenda, it just isn't happening. Because remember, there's two things that can happen here when you have openness. There's a great amount of wisdom, or there's a ginormous amount of conditioning. And yes, of course, the not self gets an idea, and that little kid up there bangs on pots and pans. Hurry up, get this shit done. You're going to miss out on this opportunity. Oh my God, right? And most likely, I'm never going to miss out on an opportunity. Because if nobody asks me, it wasn't meant for me. I don't want my life to be hard. I want this to be as easy as possible. Yes, with a few hurdles to jump over or a challenge here and there. Excellent. Perfect. However, I do not want it to be hard. This is not a strenuous life anymore. There's movement from the sacral. Manifestation happens after the sacral response. So now let's just take a look at an innovator. So innovators, they're called manifestors, or, or what you would call an innovator in BG5. Motor connected to throat, motor connected to throat, and the other way, which I have only seen one of these. There's probably numerous of them in the world. But the root can also go up through the spleen and then to the throat, which also creates a manifestor. Like I say, I have not seen that very often, but it's a very interesting way to get to the throat. But any one of these three motors can be connected to the throat. Now remember, they cannot have the sacral or the energy resource defined, or that defeats the purpose. And then we have, again, an express builder like me. So motor connected to the throat, for an innovator, what you're going to notice is that there is this clarity that comes, and then you get to inform those that you're going to impact, and then you get to act. Now, if you're acting prior to any of that, your destructive force, this anger, just permeates throughout. People are scared of you. So just take a breath, take a moment, and just relax into your strategy and authority. But the whole mechanic piece of it, again, is the three motors, and they have to go up to the throat, whether that be indirectly. The pure manifesting generator channels are 2145, 2212, and 3635. However, the ego center, the heart center, or the willpower center can go up through the channel of competition, competitiveness, and move up to the identity, and then through any one of those three channels, or this one right here. So any one of those four channels. But that could be a possibility, or the root up and then over, or up, over, and over. So either way, it has to be connected to one of those three motors. And then manifestation for them happens based off of their own inner authority and strategy, right? So it's about initiation, and then their inner authority will tell them, okay, when they become clear on when they will move. So I live with an innovator who is an ego innovator and willpower innovator. And the moment he says, I will do this, poof, he speaks it, and there's manifestation that happens like right behind it. Again, express builder, very similar to me. There has to be a motor connected to the throat. And if you see here, there's actually three motors that come up through here, and are connected to the throat. None of this is there to manifest. Again, here, we're not manifesting from here. This is our beautiful outer authority. We're not manifesting from here either. And advisors. So here's what's really cool, right? We have an advisor here that has the defined throat. So you're like, oh, well, manifestation must be really easy for them. No. Advisors are not going to have a motor connected to the throat, because if they did, then they'd be a manifester. So what you're going to notice as an advisor, that manifestation is going to come when you partner with the correct people. Again, as an advisor, as a projector, it's that whole one-on-one connection that's the best for you. So partnerships. So for example, here, all of a sudden, somebody with the 41st or 45th gate comes in, then all of a sudden there's a connection there, or there's a transit there, and the manifestation seems to flow a little more. The invitations happen. There's more recognition for your beautiful expression of spirit. You're invited in, and poof, there can be a manifestation. But if the not self has an agenda, if the not self has an agenda, that's all wiped out. And can you manifest? Yeah, you can, but it's going to taste very, very bitter. Taste very bitter to people around you. So that 45th gate, just going to grab a keynote here that has slipped my mind. So it's about possession, right? Possessive. Of course it is. It's material. So all of a sudden the not self mind is like, very possessive, very, wanting to get gritty, get in there, and you try to manifest through that possessiveness. Like, I have this is mine, and I'm sharing it with the world, and I'm going to push my agenda. Yeah, well, all not self. And it tastes like super bitter to the rest of us in the world. So relax if you're an innovator. There is no rush. There's no rush for me. There's no rush for you. There's no rush for anybody on the planet. The correctness of who we are, as we let spirit, universe, creator flow through us, our correct manifestation will happen through strategy and authority. They will recognize you. Oh, hey, look at, you're this beautiful, beautiful, insatiable leader that can absolutely transmit to us the beauty of the material plane. They recognize you, and then they invite you in, and poof, there is a manifestation for you, because there's someone there that you can co-create with. None of this, you don't even need to know their designs. It's happening. It's happening. And it tastes very successful. So what does success taste like to you? Trust it. But if it's bitter, I can't even put words to how difficult it is to be in the presence of a bitter projector. I can't even tell you. Evaluators. So take a look at this. What are evaluators here to be? Or are reflectors? They're here to be objective judges. To go, you know what? We're doing okay. We're going along with evolution. Things seem to be happening greatly. Everything's beautiful. Or, holy shit, people, we're in for a shitstorm here, because nobody's using their strategy and authority. The not self agenda is ruling the world, and it's scary as hell. That's what our judges do. That's what our evaluators and our reflectors do. Manifestation for them, again, it's going to happen as they collaborate with other people, as they trust their strategy and authority, and they sample, and they let themselves have time for those decisions to permeate and then be expressed through the voice. But the moment an evaluator or a reflector is pushing their not self agenda, again, very, very destructive, really destructive to their physical bodies. And I've seen it. I've seen reflectors like get like really, really sick, even though they have a very Teflon aura. If they're constantly using that abrasive, how do I want to say, steel wool, and they're, you know, they're rubbing up against the resistance and they're trying to use that not self agenda, all of a sudden their aura becomes penetrable because they've scratched it all up. They want to leave that beautiful Teflon coating there so that they can be objective judges. That's all that an evaluator or a reflector is here to do. That's it. So there's the mechanics of the manifestation. If your not self has an agenda, it is going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. If there's any kind of agenda going on, it is going to get ugly. You know, like take a look at this person. Seeking, and doing that seeking to try to make decisions in total and complete mental exhaustion. This innovator pushing their logical agenda, that not self agenda, and pushing their ideas on people. It's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. So we do not manifest from the mind and that not self agenda. We, you and I, and everybody on this planet manifests from our strategy and authority. Let the expression of the universe flow through your design, and what needs to be created and manifested through your particular expression will do so through strategy and authority and those that you interact with. But there's nothing to push. There is, you're not missing out on anything. Of course, go onto social media for 5 seconds. 5 seconds. And there'll be somebody on there talking about money. And that's another whole totally different video. But we create this stupid conditioning around money. Your value has absolutely dick all to do with money. Totally different video. But let's look at manifestation as what are we as an expression of the universe meant to manifest on this material plane? What are we meant to do? What are we meant to manifest? Now, how do you get the answer to that? Strategy and authority, and then your perception clears up, you unclutter the mind, and the manifestation flows through you because the creation was meant to come through you. Those on your fractal are showing up because they want to be initiated, because they want to know how are they doing. They want that guidance from you. Or for myself, they absolutely need me to come in and help them build something. So when you ask me questions, when you send me emails, when you phone me, when those questions are presented, that's when my outer authority can gather what it needs to gather through my right brain body. Sorry, that's not me. My right brain body, my right mind. You can go through the Rolodex, bring it out, and present it. All right. Another fun day for me. So I appreciate all the conversations, and I will put my information below, and I hope you have a great, fabulous day. Thanks.